making a multi-line call to Sam Grinnis and show you how that call is captured within Salesforce. So I'm going to use my multi-line application, selecting multi-line application. I could either search in contacts, but I can see from the calls log from yesterday that I talked to Sam. So by just touching on Sam's name, it calls Sam. You can see the multi-line screen calling Sam. Sam answers the call. We chat, and then I hang up the call on the multi-line here. Now that I've made a call to Sam from my mobile device when I was either at the office, away from the office, at my home, in my customer location, it's important that that call is logged inside the Salesforce record for Sam so that next week or next month when I call Sam again, I have a good record and knowledge of when I last talked to him. So on the screen you're seeing now, you'll look at the contact for Sam, and you can see on the right in the activity log, there's now a record showing call to Sam Grinnis, and I can click on that call and see that that call was made on March 12th at 2:31. So it's a very, very efficient and effective way to log every single call to Sam that occurs from your mobile device. And we'll show you in a little bit how those calls from the desktop are also logged in a similar way. In addition to logging calls, it's also really valuable to understand when you text message your contact from your multi-line number, because a lot of times those text messages are just as important in phone calls, it's much simpler to log those text messages than it is to come back at the end of the day and then try and retype a text message into Salesforce with a recreation of that interchange. So if you go to the multi-line tab on Sam's contact, you can see the list of messages that occurred on the 11th and different dates. It does a daily roundup of consolidating all the text messages. In this case, I had one text message with Sam, said, "Good talking with you, we'll chat tomorrow." So now I've got a record in the Salesforce to show not just my text messages with Sam, but also my calls to Sam that are made from my multi-line number, regardless of where those actual calls and texts took place. That's really the powerful part about multi-line, because it gives you that flexibility to capture that information when it's going on in the mobile world. Now that we've seen how you can use the multi-line application from your mobile device to call your client and have those calls, both inbound and outbound, captured in multi-line, I want to show you one of the latest features in multi-line for Salesforce Connector, which allows you to make calls from within the Salesforce application, whether it's on your desktop or laptop. So when you make outbound calls, those calls to your client or your contacts are using the multi-line mobile number. So it makes it super easy for those contacts. When they see the call came in on their mobile device, they can click redial and it goes to the mobile phone of the salesperson. So no longer are you playing phone tag of, hey, I'm leaving you my office number, but call me on my desk number. So the way click to dial works is it's simple as clicking on any of the numbers that are connected with Sam. I can click on this number, I can click the green dialer, and the number is pre-populated in there, and it makes a phone call to Sam. So call is ringing. Sam's going to pick up this call in just one moment. In this case, it went to voicemail. There it is. I can then say, call later, busy. Save that call record with a note. So now I've captured the contents of that call. You'll see that in my activity log, it now shows the additional call to Sam. So I see two calls today. The first one below was from the mobile number, and this is the call I made from the desktop. I can click on that call. I click on the small arrow here. I can see my note, call later, busy. If I click on that link, it'll show the time and the date of the call. So super easy way to log those calls. It's convenient to use the same phone number, so that's the only number that your client has to remember. They don't have to remember your desk number and your mobile number or a VoIP number that some other systems might use that are connected to Salesforce. When I want to send text messages to Sam, I can also do that from within the MultiLine for Salesforce connector. Just the same as I made a phone call to Sam, I can click on his phone number and I can select the text message bubble, and I can then type a message. It says, "I'll catch you later. Thanks." And I can send that text message. So I'm sending a text message from within the Salesforce application, but it's using my MultiLine number, so that's the number my client sees. And so that goes to Sam. And so now, when I want to review that text message, I can go to the MultiLine application, I can look at today's roll-up, and I can see there's the text messages that I had today to Sam. Very convenient, very thorough, gives the salesperson a great record of the conversations that are going on between themselves and a client.